Welcome back. You're still watching E-Vibes, the entertainment show on Signature TV. Live here right now in the studio with me is Collins Aharanwa. He's an actor, producer, and director. We'll be talking about tradition meets innovation in filmmaking. We've had him once before. We spoke about something totally different. So that's why now I want to talk about filmmaking as a director. So thanks for joining us, Collins. So how do you feel? How is the weather treating you?
Fine. This, the weather used to be very harsh.
But now,
for some time now, it's been raining, so
it's cool.
Yes.
All right. So what would you say about traditional filmmaking?
Traditional filmmaking. Well, I will say that it's cool. Yeah, traditional. Talking about the way films are made.
In those days, yes.
Okay, that's it's not bad because everything is it's all about time, stages. So remember, those years there were patterns, ways films were made, and that was because of the things we had in place then.
Okay.
Equipment, locations, and the lifestyle as of then.
Okay.
So and now things have actually changed. That changed. The things have changed. We have a new lifestyle, quality equipment, better locations, and all that. So things have taken a step ahead what it used to be.
So would you say that you're proud of the way Nollywood has evolved, especially when it comes to filmmaking? Like you said, locations and the likes. Would you say that Nollywood has evolved, and would you also say that we don't have such locations anymore to produce films like that?
Well, I would say I am proud of Nollywood to some extent, and at the same time, I am not proud of Nollywood in some areas.
So which one should I ask you now? Is it the proud part or the not being proud part?
Anyone.
Okay. Why are you not proud of Nollywood to some extent?
Okay. Whichever way you ask the question, the two of them must be touched.
Yes,
if
yes.
I say this, I will have to balance.
Yes, you will.
So I'm going by the way you asked it, asking why am I not proud? Okay. Now, if you look at the way things are now, I grew up following, or I grew up a lover of film. There was a time Hollywood was the in thing.
Yeah.
If you're not watching Commando, all those ones, Schwarzenegger, them, it's as if you're not watching film.
Yeah.
Then our own films were very local then, but we were still appreciating those making the films as of then. Now, the Hollywood I know, as time progressed, they kept improving. If you watch a Hollywood film made this year, you can't compare to that of Hollywood film made like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Then, but in our own case, Nollywood, it's as if the ones who made in the olden days are better than the ones we're doing now. I don't know. The only places we improved is only when you talk about the equipment, talk about that's the technical aspect of it. But the story itself, in fact, the stories we are telling these days are not the things that are familiar to our people. Because filmmaking is all about a people. Yes, you must tell your story the way it's related to your people. I don't know if you're getting what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's why the whites seems to appreciate our films when we are indigenous.
Okay, like the epic movies we have and the likes.
You cannot be telling a white man a story of love. You're telling a white man a love story, whereas we know that they painted the love to us. We have a way we treated love, or we handled love in our own way here. Before they now brought their own pattern Now, you now want to tell them how to love in their pattern. To them, it will look like you're making mockery of the whole thing.
Okay,
Yes.
let me cut you short there, right? Because as a matter of fact, it's not just love movies that we make, especially when it comes to those cinema movies, right? So now you're saying the movies we make now, it's not in line with the story, right? Now you're a movie director. And we had a guest who is a screen/script writer who said the director is the go-to person that has the final say in the movie. All right. So if you as a director, you're saying that the movie is not in line with the storyline, that means we should hold directors responsible because they are the owners of the movie.
Okay, let me put it straight again. A director will interpret the story as written in the script. Because as a director, when you're interpreting a script, at the end of the day, the film is telling something different from the script. You made a bad film.
Okay.
Yes, as a director. Because when you interpret a story, anyone that did not see the script and sees the film somehow, and along the line comes across that script somewhere, should be able to relate immediately. Okay, I've seen a movie like this somewhere. You only saw a script though.
Yeah.
Are you getting me? So a movie should tell exactly what the script says. That's to say, if the script is not properly written, there should be something like script editing. After everything, you come up with the proper one that has the exact story that you want to tell. That at the end of the day, when the story is interpreted, it is the same thing as the script.
So you're saying most directors are not doing that?
Of course. Most people, when you give them the script, they tell you that the script is a guide. If the script is a guide, then why is it a working document?
Yeah.
If it's a guide, then it means it's not properly written. I'm not saying there are no scripts that are not properly written. There are some scripts that are not properly written. So when you make such scripts, you also let the sponsor or the people concerned know that this script is not properly written. Everybody will be in agreement that this is not properly written. Either they decide to go back to the writer, do some editing, then everybody will join hands, and at the end of the day, we'll come up with the right one. Or they say, okay, there's no time, let's go to the field. As we are filming, use your experience as a director, then and touch it. Then it will be on record that it was agreed that this story was badly written, and they now left it in the hands of the director to fix while they are shooting. That one is clear. But not when a standard script is presented to you as a director and you're meant to interpret it. You go to the field and you think you're too creative and you're wonderful. You now start telling a different story. Why? You better tell them to keep the script.
Yes.
So
you do whatever you want to do.
You tell your own story. Then the person that wrote the script, by the time the writer sees that story that you've told differently from the script, what would the person say? How would the person feel about it? Because it's not the person's mindset, as in the writer's mindset, that you've interpreted as a director. Are you getting me?
Yeah.
So,
but you want to say something.
Okay, yes. Going back to the
story.
You said, I think you misunderstood me then when you said that the director, directors do not go in line with the story. That wasn't actually what I said.
No, you said something, and I said, okay, someone said something about directors being the owner of the movie. So if a bad movie comes out, what I'm saying is that means we should hold the director responsible.
Yes. If a film is bad, it's the director. If it's good, it's the director. So when you see a bad script, you should be able to raise the alarm from the beginning, so it will be corrected. Before you don't go to field and at the end of the day, you now come up with the excuse that the script was badly written. That's why you told a bad story. No, it's not an excuse.
Okay, so do you think innovation film technology can coexist with traditional filmmaking? Like, can there be a blend between the two?
Of course. There has to be this marriage between the two. It's a must. Yes. Just like when Christ came, he said he didn't come to abolish the tradition.
Yeah.
He came to amend.
Yeah.
Yes, there's some other persons misinterpreted it to be that he came and threw away the existing things. But that's not what he did. So the innovations did not come to change the entire storyline of our African story, our familiar stories. No, rather it came to improve on the way we tell them. But some other persons misunderstood the whole thing entirely. Now, because Hollywood, we look up to them, but what we look up to them is the quality of what they are doing and not their pattern of storytelling. Because we cannot become Americans overnight. It's not possible.
Yeah, that's true.
If I come today and shoot an action film, the type we watched in those years, like Commando, where
Actor and Bows and the likes,
where Arnold Schwarzenegger, one person will kit up and carry his weapons and all those things, enter a place like a two division. One person will outsmart all the soldiers there, rescue one victim or whatever that is in prison somewhere there, and at the end of the day, only one person will destroy the whole of the two division. It is not possible. We know that, but they try to let you know that that is their own way, and you know that their stories, most of them are based on fiction. But our own pattern here, we tell stories about things that we live with every day. They tell you that this is where your problems are coming from, and this and this. No matter how people try to get tired of such stories, those are the things happening within our circle. Hollywood can never get tired of telling you stories that has to do with action, all those fictions and all those things, because it is their, instead they upgrade on it. Now, what's an action film of today compared to that of 1980 something, 1990 something? It is still action, but the only thing you see is sophisticated weapons. You understand? You see some different kind of aircrafts and all those things, but they are still flying, they are still shooting, but they are not telling you that they are better, versions of those things. Now, in our own way here, in our own stories here, if we are talking about, they said we are too diabolical and all those things, and envy, when a neighbor or an uncle of yours is envious of your success and all that.
Our time is actually up. Our time is up. I would have loved to have more time with you discussing about this whole thing and all, but we have another program coming up. So thank you so much, Collins, for your time. Aharanwa. And happy birthday to your son.
Oh, yes.
I wish him so many more years.
My son is so dear to me that I cannot forget that today is
his birthday. Yes. All right, this is where we draw the curtain. The show has come to an end. Join us same time tomorrow. Follow us on all our social media platforms, and of course, subscribe to our YouTube channel. I remain your baby girl, Queenette Mokunta. Enjoy the rest of your day.